Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
Welcome to day 11. I know that I am late, but I had a funeral to attend. Yes, so welcome to day 11. For those of you all who do not know me, my name is Michelle, aka the Ignited Teacher. And what I do on this channel is I help math teachers, math interventionists like yourself, to close learning gaps very quickly with evidence-based strategies so that you can see at least 1 year's growth by the end of the school year. So thank you for joining in, whether you're watching on a replay or a year from now. This is the 11th day, and tomorrow is the last day for the 12 days of giveaway. So, what you have learned, or I've demonstrated for you this week, is all of these. I'm not going to read them. You can go to the webpage. It's in the description of this live stream. And I know that everybody's gearing up for Christmas. So tomorrow I will go live at 7:30. So you all can catch it if you so inclined to do so. Um, I don't know if they have Christmas in other countries, but here I am. Now, where is all this taking place? Right here on my YouTube channel. So if you want to subscribe, like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it and welcome you into my community. So you're probably wondering, well, what are you giving away today? So today is my tier 2 instruction with anecdotal notes. And I'm not going to fill these out. I hate fictitious information. I really do. So I actually have my binder from a year, I think 2 years ago. It might have been 2 years ago. And I'm going to show you what's in my binder and how to use these sheets. So they have a tier 2 identification sheet if you need something like that. Data collection if you need something like that. Long range planning. I got long range planning from a program I was a master teacher in, and I just added the tier 2, adapted it to that because you need to long range plan for your intervention. And long range planning should include 6 weeks or 9 weeks, whatever the grading cycle is. What are you going to focus on for that grading cycle? And writing it down is very, very helpful because I can't remember like I used to, but it is important to write those things down. And that's what this long range plan is for. And then you have your group anecdotal notes. Generally I recommend a 1-to-6 ratio. I've done 7 kids before, especially if they were higher level students. Now, small group is not just for students that are struggling. I generally, and I teach this in my Math Intervention Academy, I generally tell break down my classes to where I have intervention all day. So I see all of my kids get one-on-one time with me or small group time with me on that day. So, and you probably saying, well, how do you keep up with the curriculum? Well, generally I have small group on Tuesday and Thursday. So Monday is most of the time I'm introducing something probably. And then on Tuesday they're practicing independently with the actual um teak or standard that I was teaching on Monday, and then I pull them for small group. That's how that works, and it actually goes faster. So like my higher level kids are able to work on things that are at their level. All of it's differentiated, just that independent piece. Then you have, last but not least, your tier 2 student group progress monitoring sheet. So, without further ado, I'm going to move this out of the way. That's my microphone. So, this is my binder, and it's nothing really special about it. This is, there we go. So you all can see it. I don't know why that was up so light. So this is lead forward. This is what I use to keep me on task. It has the actual student standards, and as I teach them, I mark them off to make sure that I'm covering everything. Then I have this lead forward math guide. Um, it just has some suggestions, making sure that my instruction is aligned. Like it has stimulus. I don't really pay attention to that. Really, what I look at is the alignment. So let me see. So, like, I put tier 1 here. Let me see if they have one where, yeah, like right here, it says 4th grade, 3rd grade, and then it has 2nd and then 1st. So I look at that vertical alignment, and that's what I generally make sure that I'm on the right track. So let's get to turn this around. So this is my progress monitoring piece. This is in, if I'm not mistaken, my test prep kit. I do BOY. This was end of year. That was end of year for the other class. And I monitor throughout the school year. So if you want to know more about that, you can check out the video on my YouTube channel about putting together a math intervention binder. So your anecdotal notes from the product, you write your skill or concept, you write the kids' names, then you write student progress. Did they make any progress? Do they have struggle with anything there? And then you put notes. Now I generally use the notes part for my students, to where we left off, to pay attention to how I changed the problems over time, because I generally teach from basic to complex. So say for instance, I am teaching multiplication. I'm not going to start with problems where they're multiplying 6, 7, 8, 9, because I know they're going to struggle with that. The goal is to teach the concept and then increase the rigor, which would be to bring in numbers with 6, 7, 8, or 9. So that's how I use some of those. My tier 1 kids, so like this is long range planning. That's what that looks like. So for my long range goals, this was for on grade level or above grade level. I put my dates, scalar concept, number pairs, and fractions, because my higher level kids were moving faster. So when they met with me on Tuesday and Thursdays, I used that opportunity to advance them in the curriculum, which satisfied that gifted and talented accelerated piece. And they got it in a small group to where it stuck. I didn't put them, because a lot of teachers, and I disagree with this, and I don't recommend it. A lot of teachers put their students on these platforms and, oh, they can learn it on their own. Oh, they got it. They know how. No, they need a teacher. They need a teacher. And I have a real problem with putting children on their own when they're learning new concepts. Practicing something that they can do independently is something totally different. So my materials were Eureka Math, IXL, fractions tiles, and fraction wheels. And some anticipated difficulties I knew that even though some of my students were in my accelerated small group, they still would struggle with the vocabulary for my emerging bilingual. So here's a concept scaffold. That's not in here. That's in the test prep kit. I think it is, but then it might be in another one. They run together. Don't quote me on that. So the concept scaffold is what I use. This is the grade level expectation. This is the prerequisite skill, meaning what they need to master this skill. And then looking at those prerequisite skills, that's going to determine what targeted intervention that I'm going to use. So it's really kind of like a thinking map, unfolding it. And then you have your 2-week plan. That's in another program. But creating this is important, and having these notes are helpful. Having anecdotal notes helps you in data digs, and it shows your administrator what you're actually doing. Because let me tell you something, if it's not written, it didn't get done. It's not about what you're saying, it's about what you can prove. So this is my personal story. I was put up for termination because they said, oh, I wasn't doing intervention. Well, come on now. That's not true. I have a whole binder. I have dates and everything that I did intervention with. So on the days I did intervention, I have data. Not only do I have numbers, I have anecdotal data. So, you really can't say, but you have to make sure that for accountability purposes, that you have some way to document your efforts. And you can always argue that, especially I see a lot of teachers about that. My data's not moving, but if you're not tracking it, what the kids are actually doing and what the numbers are doing, because this is the what. I mean, this is the why it's happening. So if I'm addressing the what and the why is happening, those numbers should change. And if they're not changing, then there's a problem here in this in your what the kids are doing. A lot of times we get overwhelmed with our students and even just daily life of a teacher, but the data is important in what you're doing. You should be focusing on your activities and how you are getting kids to learn. Also, you should be focusing on their output. Your input are your strategies, things that you are creating, activities. The output is what are they doing on paper. And you can't, please don't say, oh, I taught them that. Well, they didn't learn it. There's an issue there. So you have to go back, analyze the student's work, and then go and start the process again. So that is all I have for today. I hope that that was helpful. Again, if you need more help or want to learn more about putting together a math intervention binder, I have a video on my YouTube channel where I'm holding a binder, and it talks all about math intervention binders. So tomorrow is the last day for the 12 days of giveaway. We made it. It's the last day. And a lot of you are out of school already. So tomorrow's the last day for the 12 days of giveaway. So tune in to see what you are getting. And because I didn't tell you what was happening or what I was giving away on the last day. It just said grand finale and special bonus. So tune in tomorrow to see that special bonus that I'm giving away on tomorrow for the last day of the 12 days of giveaway. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.